Good afternoon. I'm Ryan. And I'm gonna tell you a story of how I almost died. Context muna. I used to live in Pasay. Specifically in Naiya 3, near Naiya 3. I was a Air Force brat. So, yun yung lugar ko po, Nichols. But I used to work at Taguig. And so, my daily commute is to go from Pasay to Taguig through this bridge called Lawton Avenue. Now, what's special about this bridge is this is the only way you get to cross from Pasay to Taguig in this area. Wala kang ikutan. You're crossing SLEX. This is an elevated bridge. There's no way. Jeepneys don't pass it. So, sasakay ako ng jeep, hihinto siya dito, and then I would have to walk my way towards the other side and take a jeepney at the other side to my work. It's so stressful. It's very stressful. This is where I walk. It's a very small sidewalk. And as I said, it's elevated. You're overlooking SLEX. I'm very afraid of heights. So, this is a ordeal every time. Now, the night in question, I wasn't feeling well. I was walking through the bridge when suddenly a car goes and hits the pavement inches from my feet. Inches. Shocked ako. Wala akong ano. So, my mind was blank. But I had to go home. So I'm just gonna, scoot over. Punta ako sa road. I can't pass through. Hinaharangan niya yung dinadaanan ko. So, ikot ako. Pagdating ko sa dulo, I realized he could have hit my legs. Or worse, push me over the bridge. I want to say this is a novel experience, but it's not. Ang daming tao, nakita natin yan sa news, na ang daming tao ang namamatay dahil sa vehicular accidents. And I was thinking, when I got to the end, I was thinking, why do we have to resist? Why do we have to live like this? It's annoying because Manila is under the tyranny of cars. Nakakasakal siya, guys. People are second class to cars. EDSA is already established. Hindi ka pwedeng dumaan dyan. Kung gagawa man sila ng daanan, overpass. You know this overpass. This is Kamyas. Kamuning. Kamuning. Hindi ka pwedeng tumawid kahit na may space doon sa ilalim. No way. Along EDSA, among Commonwealth, around Rojas Boulevard, you will see signs, bawal tumawid, nakakamatay, multa, 500. Minsan, ginagawa pa nilang past tense. Meron na, proven, may namatay na dito. And some companies, some savvy companies, syempre, nagjo-joke pa eh. Kulang na lang, may booth na sila doon. Jaywalking. What is jaywalking? Why is it a crime?
Here's the story of how the car took over the American street. A century ago, the city street was a public place that was open to everyone. It was shared by pedestrians, horses, and weird old-timey bicyclists alike. Not to mention streetcars that took people to work.
Now, Teddy, you have a fun day at the sketch shop. And remember, always walk in the street. It belongs to all of us.
But when the car was invented, people started driving them at top speed through the crowded streets, and the results weren't pretty.
My boy, he's dead.
Oh dear. But that's what happens when one's motor car strikes a peasant. Naturally, everyone blamed the new invention for the carnage.
Seventh kid mashed by a metal death machine this week. Maybe these things shouldn't be allowed.
Public outcry grew,
Extra, extra! Innocent boy killed by automobile!
and some cities even discussed passing laws against them.
We propose that the streets not be filled with these high-speed 2-ton metal projectiles.
They're killing us out there. Well, technically, we're killing them, Bill.
Ooh, good point. We gotta fight this thing.
I got it. We'll tell them the streets are for cars only, and if a car kills you, it's your own fault.
And I'll give the folks that walk in the street a really humiliating nickname.
What about Irish walkers?
Now, that's pretty cruel, but we can do better. I got it. Jaywalkers.
Oh, you disgust me. And I love it.
It doesn't mean much to us now, but back then, Jay was a really offensive slur. It basically meant dirty hillbilly, which makes this really messed up. Like, what if today we called them walkers, or even walkers?
Man, come on, there's a kid on set.
Yikes, sorry. To publicize the new insult, the auto industry actually planted stories in newspapers blaming pedestrians for automobile death.
Extra, extra! Lame-brained jaywalker flings himself before no automobile.
My boy, Jay?
Serves them right, I say. I hate those good-for-nothing Jays.
So do we all, sir.
Me too. I hope a stupid Jay son rots in hell.
Today, jaywalking is a crime, and in fact, most of our modern traffic safety culture descends from this kind of blame-shifting propaganda. Think about it. A group of private businessmen coined an offensive slur to promote their product, and it worked so well that today it's a legal term. That's like if the trash can industry convinced us all to call littering dropping.
Seriously, dude, do you even think before you speak?
You know, funny, I don't. As a result of this campaign, the street went from being a public place where everyone was welcome to a terrifying off-limits death trap.
Stay back, Ethel. The streets belong to the machines now. Thank you for granting us passage, Metal Majesty.
Imagine how much space are we giving to cars and car culture and car infrastructure. In 2012, there was a study by the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and of course our own agency, National Economic Development Agency, NEDA. In 2012, out of 13 million trips in Metro Manila, biyahe, 13 million trips, 69% were public transport. We moved 69% more people in public transport compared to private vehicles. There are more people that are moved by public transport. However, if you compare this to road share, public transportation only takes up 22% of the road, of the space. The rest is taken up by private vehicles, 78%. Why? It's because the roads are built for private cars these days. Public spending of this government in the last 10 years, 2.8 trillion. Imagine, ilang zero yan. I had to make sure, kaya kailangan ko pang i-type out yan. That's how much money has been spent on road infrastructure. Now, can anyone tell me how much of this money, what percentage is used for public transport? Can anyone give an answer? If you're within 10%, I will give you a prize pagbalik natin sa Sentral. Anyone? Volunteer. Anyone? Christian, do you have a guess? 8%. 8%. You know what? You are within 10%. Because in 10 years, we spent 1% on road-based public transport initiatives. The 99% was spent on new roads, road widening, and maintenance. And you can name them. NLEX, SLEX, SETEX, Skyway, TPLEX, yung C5 connection, naka-connect na siya ngayon sa Cavitex, sa MCX, NAIA X. There's so many. Which is crazy because more cars means more air pollution. We know this. EMB. EMB says that vehicular sources account for 65% of pollution in this country. More cars means less public spaces. This is Circulo del Mundo in NAIA 3. This is being used, it was being used as a community center for the local barangay Nichols. Pinagiba siya dahil traffic daw sa NAIA 3 and they needed roads. And so wala ng community center ang barangay Nichols. More cars means more vehicular accidents. Deaths per year increased from 39% to 39% from 2011 to 2012. I could have been one of them. I could have been part of the statistic. And so, it feels so frustrating. But, we're still citizens. We are residents of Metro Manila. There must be something we can do. I will argue there are a few things we can do. Number one, start walking. Public transportation is for everyone. I know you want to use your cars. Sino pong may kotse dito? Okay. What did you ride to go here? The bus. Yeah. I took this picture when I was crossing Ayala, the area in Ayala. It's not better, but there's a sidewalk. And any frustrations that we have, we can deal with it because we can just advocate for better public transportation. Halampagin ang gobyerno. Kahit na parte tayo nito. Because if we voice out our concerns, at some point, the critical mass of commuters will have their voice heard. And I'm not here to demonize drivers. If you have a car, feel free. This is your freedom. We are in a democracy. All I ask, all I plead from you is to be a kind driver. This is my mother. This picture, that's my mother. When I told her the story about the accident on the bridge, the next day she drove me. I've never seen her rage on the road. I've never seen her angry. She was sharing, compassionate. And I hope you will emulate her. Because we are all sharing the same spaces. And so it is up to us to be kind to one another. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's begin with